Welcome to another episode of the Funhouse Project. Today we're going to be throwing a Dumbo RC radio into the /4x4, so I'm going to quickly unbox it. Inside, instruction manual, we'll leave that to one side, receiver, transmitter, and just like the other one, feels fine. So we're going to slap some batteries in that, and then we're going to get ready installing it into the slash. Things you're going to need for this install are obviously your new receiver. You're going to need some double-sided sticky tape. I just used the 3M red, that stuff's pretty good. You're going to need a 2mm hex driver. I always keep a sharp pen handy for bolt heads, you'll see why a bit, and some scissors. Obviously it's got the double-sided tape. And it's a fairly simple process, so we're just going to start by undoing the 2 bolts on top of the receiver box. Just going to pop that off to one side. Just try and keep it somewhere visible, you don't want to lose them. Your receiver box may differ in your slash. You know, some are situated down here and some are a different size, obviously because I've got the different ESC, it's in a different place, but it's the same thing. Pop the cover and the other bolt over there, and there's one bolt over this side and one bolt over that side. We're going to want to take that off. And we're going to be salvaging the old radio setup that's in here for another car. We've got a WL Toys on the way, and until another Dumbo RC radio comes, we're going to be putting the handsman out of this into that. So once you've got the second bolt out of that side, the lid for the radio will come up. You want to pull out your antenna cover. Right. So what we want to do is we want to lift up our receiver out of the box. Try not to munch this gasket whilst you're in the process. It's quite an old gasket now, this one, so it's a little bit flexible now. Right, so you'll have 2 there. Just pay special attention to what you unplug in. So channel 1 and channel 2. 1 to turn, 2 to burn. So let's put our old radio to one side. And there is some old foamy double-sided tape in the bottom of here. That will be no good for us now. It's pretty much lost all its tack and it's falling to bits, so we'll just get that out of there. Right, should be enough. If you really want to do a good job, really clean that up well, but this 3M tape is pretty good, so I'm just going to leave that. So what we want to do is make sure that gasket is back on there. So I'm just going to leave it around there for the time being. So you're going to want to trace which wire's which. So as you can see, this wire goes to the servo, so that's turn. So we're going to be having a quick look and see where we're plugging this in. And on here it should tell you minus positive, so you know that you can plug it in that way around. So we've put that into channel 1. I'm going to want to plug the ESC into channel 2, making sure that we get them the right way around. Now what we want to do is get some double-sided tape and just cut. So we'll just get this on top of here. Just cut the appropriate amount off. Make sure you really push that down onto the receiver. Make sure it's properly stuck down. And peel this off. Try and get another corner that's not quite as hard to get off. There we go, and you can see that the tape's applied there. Now these do have a gyro inside, So what I like to do is I like to aim the antenna out the front way where the top port on the receiver cover is going to be, and obviously also that then gives you access to the switch that's on the front of it. So I'm going to put that bang in the middle and towards the back, push that down nice and firmly, and that's not going anywhere. So next step will be to connect up your battery. I'll throw some batteries in the transmitter whilst we're at it. So this takes 4 AA batteries, just got 4 random ones. Back on. Right. I'm going to grab a battery and connect to the car. Right now, because we've got going in there, we want to try and get the wheels off the ground. So I'm just going to stick the foam from the box under the car for now. Let's take the wheels off. Right, so I'll go ahead and switch the car on. You've switched on your transmitter. And you can see straight away. So we've got steering's opposite for us. We're just going to flip the switch for that. There we go, that's fine. Going to check forward. Check reverse. Yep. So we're all good to go. We've got no flashing light, it means it's paired automatically. Really simple install, that's pretty much it, job done. We're just going to finish tidying up, and that should be us good to go. So just unplug the battery. You don't want to accidentally turn anything on or run away on your table. So we're going to want to try and keep our aerial out to one side, so we'll thread that through now, making sure we don't snag that on anything. We're going to want to pack all this spare wiring down in here. Now it does have a gyro function, this RX and TX, but we're not going to enable that. Mainly bash, so I don't really use it that much. I mean, it's pretty capable of high speed, this car, but just haven't really felt the need to use it. It's fairly stable as it is. Right, so making sure that gasket's in place, snap the lid for your receiver box back down, replace one of the screws around the centre casing, and just tighten that down. Snug this one right down at this point, it should be fine. Replace the other one. Again, snug that one right down. Should be a waterproof box this. So we want that down as tight as we can. Right, now can see here you've got a specific groove for your aerial to come through, so I'll pop that in them little grooves. Now the wires that are coming out, you want them as neat and tidy as possible, so if you push them into these grooves and make sure they're flat, just make sure you keep your aerial wire out of the way. So get the AC wires flat, make sure that they're all in them grooves and everything's laid down, then replace the cap this, the top of your receiver box, and just tighten down one of these screws. Now this receiver box, the top clips into place and you can feel it sort of lock in. So as long as you're holding it down, you can nip this right up. And that's pretty firm. So pop in the other screw. down, and that's more or less it. You just want to re-sleeve your aerial, give yourself a tiny bit of slack, and then you just want to replace it in the aerial holder down there, just making sure that the wire follows the little cut-out path. So I like to kink it a little bit just to help with that. And just push it into place. Now you can see that's straight down there. Then wires are all tucked together. Nice neat job. And you want us to do one last check just to make sure you've not pulled anything out. So we'll just plug it back in, keeping the wheels off the floor for the time being, just to make sure we don't have any runaways. Transmitter on. That's spot on. Everything's working as it should. And I can't hear that servo finding, so the endpoints are still fine. Throttle seems fine. We can adjust that up and down. And that's it. Hope this helps.